Alright, we are back. Welcome, and hope you're looking forward to this segment on analysis of the SBBL. We're going to look at all four divisions and hopefully all of the teams in those four divisions. Now, the last time I tried to do this, it took me about an hour. I'm going to look to up my speed, so we'll spend a little bit less time on each team, and I'm hoping to get this done in about half an hour, so till the end of the stream. And of course, I will put this up on YouTube so that those in the SBBL do get a chance to come and have a look and see what we think of their progress and of their team and just enjoy some SBBL content. So first of all, I'm going to put the YouTube link up in the chat. It's there. And I have already put up some Blood Bowl content, some DBD content, and some Underlords and Raft content recently. I've been doing really well. I'm very pleased with myself for putting out a lot of videos. So hope you'll go and enjoy those there. It's obviously Drayson Gaming. If you search for it on YouTube, it'll pop up. Let's dive in without much further ado. So, Platinum Division, we have myself currently leading with my Chaos Dwarves. I have one super killer. Let's have a look at him. So Gezo, my Claw Pom guy. I've got a bunch of Guard Dwarves, Agility on the Hobgoblin with Sure Hands, and the Bull Centaurs. I think if you had to criticise this team, first of all, it would be that my Dwarves aren't really that well developed, and that comes with taking Guard instead of Mighty Blow first. But I stand by it, and it's they've had a couple of pretty unlikely deaths that have put us in that situation. I'm really bad at keeping my hobgoblins alive. I've been getting them murdered left, right and centre, and so that's why they are completely unskilled majoritively, because I just kept getting them murdered. So a couple of them have skilled up and then I've got them killed and then repeat. Bull Centaurs, one of them died very early on. We managed to get him back. We're just sort of building them up, but again, I'm not too happy with the SPP. It's fine. This is how I choose to build and play Chaos Dwarves, and Chaos Dwarves are super solid. They just are. Second in the leaderboard is Martin Septim, Sambo Simons, Humans, who we just faced, and we've done some damage. So a lineman, a catcher, and a blitzer all out for the next game. He's down to 1,000 TV. That hurts. He's managed to get leader on his thrower. I think leader on a thrower plus 2 rerolls on a human team is probably correct, and I stand by it. Guard on an ogre, also correct. Block, agility, dauntless, dodge. This dauntless just jars. I've had it explained to me. I've had people discuss it. I still fucking just hate it. I absolutely hate it. I really don't want it to be there. I want it to be any other skill, like fend, sidestep. I don't give a shit. Just not that. Sure hands, like anything. I hate it to pieces. And I would have much preferred an earlier dodge as well. So even if you were going to go Dauntless, I would have gone dodge first, then Dauntless. But there you go. Block, guard, tackle, super solid. Absolutely fine. All the other decisions make sense. And the fact that his team's just been wrecked to pieces is going to give him some real trouble. But the fact that he's sitting with that team in second position is very, very impressive. So nicely done. Over to the Orcs in third place. So enemy goes Poof, the winner of the previous season, and a very nasty looking team. He's gone with a bit of an odd decision. Love the guard on the troll. If you're going to have a troll, why not have a goblin? You know, try and lob him in there, fine. Thrower with blodge, why not? But then he's got this block, tackle, mighty blow, and then agility, blitzer. Not sure I love it. Not sure I love the agility there. I think that might be a bit bloaty. Guard, yep, makes sense. You've got the pure killer, makes total sense. You've got the strength 4 lad, who's then gone with mighty blow again, makes sense. And he's gone with frenzy. I think that's a really interesting little style choice. I don't think it's right or wrong. I think it's I'd probably have gone with guard, because I think if you've got strength 4, you can whack him in there. He's harder to shift, and if you put guard in, then maybe stand firm or something. I think I'd prefer to have him as just another roadblock, just make your Orc team really roadblocky, but he's gone with Frenzy instead. I love Frenzy on Orcs, you know me, so all good there. In fourth place, we have Mini Exot and his Khemri. He's sort of been having a bit of a journey with Khemri over the course of the SBBL and the course of this stream's existence. And let's see where that journey has taken us. So we have some truly disgusting throw rares. So an Agi 4 throw rare with block, then an Agi 3 throw rare with block, and apparently one of the Blitz rares also rolled Agi and it was just becoming a thing. We have guard on 2 of the Tomb Guardians. We do have a block 1, so that's lovely. Mighty Blow across the board. Obviously, you have to. There's no real choice, unless you roll guard, block, of course. So 1 Tomb Guardian, currently unskilled. I don't know if that's just random chance or whether that was a recent death and replacement. Tackle on both Blitz rares first. Interesting. You do really need it on Khemri at certain stages. You just need some tackle, but it does slow down their development, and you can see that sort of happened here, where everything else is developing much faster than the Blitz rares. So, an interesting. A 1 Tomb Guardian died to a turn 16 thrower rock. Right. So this guy died. Poor lad. But again, you considering Khemri, I think the team value on Khemri though, my God, it flies, doesn't it? Like, oof. All right, so who's next? We have Darkwing Ducks, Lady Lynx, Dark Elves. He started off the season getting pretty badly killed. He's brought it back, it would seem, because his team value is 1500. He's sticking in theme with lots and lots of dodge, so taking dodge on everybody, and then plenty of sidestep. Do I disagree with anything here? I think maybe it was a bit early to get the second Witch Elf. I think I would have liked to have seen lineman number 11 at least. Maybe number 12 and then a Witch. Because you need to be able to defend Witch Elves, and you need to be able to defend them even after a couple of your elves have been hurt or knocked out. And if your Witch Elves are left out and you need to protect this Witch Elf, maybe whoever's been knocked, like one of these guys that might have been knocked down, you need to stop them getting fouled, plus the ball carrier or something. There's just too much to protect, and you can't deal with it. So I think they're a bit early for the second Witch Elf, perhaps, but I agree that Witch Elves are the spice that make Dark Elves a bit entertaining and a bit fun to play. So I can get behind it, but at the same time, I probably wouldn't do it myself. I think what you could think about doing here, you've got enough wrestle and block and dodge that almost everything has its own reroll. You could drop a reroll. It would only bring your team value down to 1450, but Dark Elves get mighty bloaty, mighty fast, and just a thought. Don't know if it's correct. Let me know in the chat what you think. Gezzos, Orcs, we played against them recently. Let's have a look at the Orcs of Gezzo. So the Westerosi Cutthroats, sort of different, quite a different Orc team, because he's got block on his Troll, no Goblins, so the Troll really is there just to get involved. He's not to throw any Goblins about. He's gone a different route, so his Strength 4 Blitzer, instead of having Mighty Blow and Frenzy, has Dodge and Sure Hands. So he's become the Strength 4 Blodge ball carrier. So very, very different flavour of Orc team. He's got one killer that's Agi busted. He's chosen to keep him. I think that's fair. I don't love it because I think you do end up dodging away with Blitzers a little bit. But I can totally understand why you'd keep him. It's not essential to have Agi there. Guard, Mighty Blow makes sense. Mighty Blow, all standard stuff on Blitzers. He's managed to get block and guard on one Black Orc. Interesting that he went block guard first rather than maybe like... Well, he's not gone for any Mighty Blow is what I'm saying. Sometimes you'll see a bit of Mighty Blow just to get a bit faster development maybe on these Black Orcs that are lagging behind. So we might see that coming. Who knows? He might choose to do that. He might choose to just go super standard, block, 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 guard, and make the Orc wall. Dagobbo flagging behind a little bit, not having a great season this time. Let's have a look. So his Pro Elves, he's still got those 3 Mighty Blow and an actual Mighty Blow piling on Blitzer. So a super killer for an Elf team needing doubles to get any strength skill. on any player, and yet he's got guard, mighty blow, mighty blow, mighty blow piling on. So a very, very frisky Pro Elf team. It must be a hell of a lot of fun to play, but also it looks like he's taken some serious licks. So both of his blitzers are out for the next game. Fortunately, it looks like they are just MNGs, or are either of those niggling injuries? They're just MNGs. So is this one? Yeah, MNG. So he's got MNGs all over the show and one niggling injury on the catcher. I would get rid of an Armor 7 niggling injury. I don't give a damn if he's got wrestle. I'd get him fired and replace him, but that's just my call. Apparently it was the Khemri that put these guys on the on their arse, so that's good. And in currently last place, which is interesting because if you have a look at this team, it's quite disgusting. It's the 3 Speed 10 Gutter Runners, one of whom is Agility 5 and one of whom is AV 6 though. So plenty of injuries around this Skaven team, not all that surprising, but what is surprising is that he's not been able to convert these 3 disgusting Gutter Runners into wins, and I know that Stefan is a good player and that he's done pretty well with teams that rely on the believe strategy, and my God, is this a believe team, and I feel like it's unfortunate then that it hasn't worked, but I'm also quite pleased that it hasn't worked. Whenever anyone's plan is mainly just to believe, I'm always slightly pleased when it doesn't work. So that is the Platinum division. We need to move on, otherwise we're never going to get through all this. On to Gold. Out front there is Eric Lionheart with his Chaos Dwarves. He's gone a little bit of a different way than I have. He's gone with block and then break tackle on both. I've gone with mighty blow on the basis that I want, if someone marks me, I want them to get hurt for it. So he's gone with, if they mark me, I can break tackle out. I've gone with, if they mark me, I'm going to punch them with mighty blow. And that levels my bull centaurs up faster, I hope. Gives me potentially better and more powerful blitzes and damage. But I will be taking break tackle on them at some point fairly soon, so I totally understand it. Good skill choice. Guard, yeah, I understand it. I've done the same thing. I happened to hit my killer early. I got that double for claw. He's still waiting for it. No real development on the Hobgoblins, so I assume he's been using his Bull Centaurs to ball carry. Nice stuff. Next up is the Khemri have heavy metal, so another Khemri team. Let's have a look then. Kemenzimmer's he's got a strength 6 Tomb Guardian, ladies and gentlemen, so he needs to get break tackle as soon as possible, and then he's got a cage breaker. Lucky enough to get block on 1, lovely. A strength 4 skeleton. That might be a bit bloaty. Armor 7, strength 4. I loved it on the Bretonnians. My hero peasant, for those of you who remember him, the hero that we needed, ended up being an absolute beauty. But on Khemri, not sure about that. I'd be interested to think what Mini Exot thinks about that, since he's been playing quite a bit of Khemri recently. Love the Dirty Player skeleton. You want to see that. Kickoff, return, and tackle. I mean, if you don't have any other, if you don't roll plus Agi 3 times, then you can understand taking these skills. Both Blitzers turning into good old blitzers. That's fine. He's chosen to have a 3-man bench. Presumably that's to keep one throw Ra safe or something like that, and just to be able to basically make sure he's always got 11 players on the pitch, because, with having low agi across the board, you do need to make sure you've got 11 players. If you ever get outnumbered, it's really bad. I always like to have at least 2 men on the bench, but 3 feels a bit excessive, especially for Khemri, whose team value does tend to shoot up. He's doing, hey Gobbo, but he's got a very good record. He's doing really, really well. I know that a couple of these were concessions in the first season that he played. It was very unusual to have concessions in the SBBL. We have a lot of rules against it, but they happen. And he was on the receiving end of 2 of them, I think. So that helped him get his team off the ground. Pagani's Amazons, let's have a quick glance then. So Thanks very much, Sambo. Take care, mate. All the best. Thanks for the game. And yeah, let's count. I'm going to try. I'm not going to be focusing too much on chat during this because it's going to be definitely up there on YouTube as well. And I want to cover a lot of ground during this time. So, Pagani's Amazons, plenty of Blodge Guard, plus some agility and strength. That's a really solid set of blitzers. Unfortunate about that strength 5 one. Speed 5. I think you probably do want to fire that. Agi 4 with guard. Were you not tempted to turn that one into something more ball carrier related? I realise that they are kind of the guard carriers, but then why did you take the Agi if you weren't going to use it? You know what I mean? I know she's got dodge, now she's got Agi, it's tempting, but you are getting a tiny bit bloaty. I don't know. If Sambo hasn't quite left yet, he could maybe comment on that as our definite resident Amazon expert. Fortunate, very fortunate to get guard on a line woman. Plenty of blodge across the board. And exactly what you want on Amazons, really, which is loads and loads of blodge. 5 rerolls is very excessive. Very excessive. For someone who's got this many automatic rerolls, this is nuts and needs to be down to 4. And this coach assistant, in my eyes, needs to fuck off as well. But there we are. He's doing well. Looking reasonable for promotion. Good luck with that. Just Dan, a friend of his and a friend of mine, is in with his Nurgle, still bringing the panda to Wakanda, and has guard on his beast block guard. So very sensible, non-killery choices. I like to have a couple of very killy Nurgle warriors, just so that if people choose to base them and if they ever get involved, then you're able to just really fucking hurt them. And I think that Nurgle need the ability to really, really hurt them. I know that he's tried to be sensible here. He's got himself some nice... that is a super cool ball sacker because he's got horns, so he can blitz with strength 5 wrestle. Like, love it. But this guy now, his ball carrier has been movement busted, and that sucks. That really sucks because he hasn't. Oh God, you hate to see it. You know, he's rolled a double as well, so he's got the dodge. He's got 3 skills. He's obviously, you know, and then he's got movement busted. That hurts. That hurts. But I think what this team is really, really, really lacking is someone that says, please don't touch me. And you need it. You need at least... I mean, it's quite possible. I mean, these guys, you know, are looking like they may have been replaced recently. Maybe one of these guys was his killer and he got killed and replaced. Fair enough. You know, that can happen. But you need a killer. You need one fast. Preferably, you need 2. Moving on. Undead, beautiful but dead. Akshaw, who moved down from platinum to gold, is sitting here with his freshly made undead team. He's been getting the SPP where you want it, so he's been managing to get plenty of it on the mummies, a good bit on the white as well, and just spreading it out on the ghouls. It's a bit of a shame that he hasn't sort of made an effort, or I mean, he probably has made an effort, but it's a shame that it wasn't successful to maybe get at least 1 or 2 of his ghouls safe, because without having block or wrestle on these ghouls, you do feel a bit, ooh, you know, at risk. And it looks like he has a naming system when people die, so one of these ghouls has already been killed and replaced, and he's only played a few games this season, so cool. Glad to see a new team coming up and into the leaderboard doing all right. Andy Roo's Vampires, you always love to see some vamps. Let's have a quick glance. Here they are. Agility Vampire, what an absolute blessing for a vampire team. You do want gaze. Only 2 vampires on this squad is a travesty and a real shame, and it's probably just... I can't imagine that he ever intended to have 2 vampires. They'll have just been killed. That really sucks, considering they've got regen and you've got an Apo. It's... so needs to get the 3rd vampire back as soon as physically possible, and I'm certain that that's his intention. But beautiful to have a block Agi 5 vampire. Looking forward to seeing those guys as they develop. Beach Stairs Amazons coming up next. So the next Amazons in this... Where have you gone? Here we are. We've got Kick. We've got Fend. We've got Guard on a line woman. That's very fortunate. We've got Wrestle on one of them. Blodge on another. I think these are incredibly sensible skill choices. So you want to get as many Blodge Guard Amazons as you possibly can. I would give the same piece of advice. I think 5 rerolls is really excessive. I'd want to go down to 4 and just be a tad more conservative with them. Love having the movement, sure hands, accurate thrower. I think that opens up a lot of possibilities that might not be there otherwise, especially with a couple of catchers on the team. Love it. I'd make an effort to get this catcher block, quickly in one game where you feel you've got a good grasp of the game. Maybe just try and score twice here and get this catcher secured. But overall, love the skill choices. Nice. Chaka Khan's Humans. So he had to build a team from scratch. So he's the other one who came in with 1,000 TV up against a league that was definitely not. So respect to him for that. He's been lucky with a strength 4 blitzer. That's a lovely bit of progression for a human team. Guard on a blitzer makes sense. I think I would love to have one mighty blow. If you don't have the ogre, I think you do want to have one blitzer that can maybe hurt someone a bit, but I totally understand that you need some guard as well occasionally. 4 rerolls to make up for it. I think that's fine. I think that's decent. And you want to fire, you can't afford injured players at this stage, I don't think, not perma ones. So unless he's particularly saving for an ogre, in which case just fire him. Get rid of the TV, get yourself Griff. Humans have access to an amazing star player, and you've got a TV deficit guaranteed against everybody so far. So even the undead, I think, a little bit. So grab yourself Griff. Maybe cut your TV down where you can, and rely on using Griff to win yourself a few games. If you're in a good position, hand off to someone that you need to get. The problem with Griff is that he hogs your SPP, but you can try and play around that, and I recommend using a bit of Griff and having a bit of fun with it. Nice stuff. On to the Silver Division then. So, up top, Gorolite having a great season. Let's jump in and take a look at Gorolite's Lizardmen, Megasaur losers. He's got himself Stand Firm on the Croxagore. I've mentioned this before, but I hate it. It needs to be guard. Stand Firm is great after you've got guard. Before that, I hate it. I'm sure it will have annoyed some of his opponents when they tried to half die push him away to get rid of Prehensile Tail or something, but you've just got to have guard. Mighty Blow on both Saurai and block on all the ones that he's leveled up. So nice, sensible choices, solid stuff. Sidestep on the Skinks if you don't roll the double, what else are you going to do? And then again, Diving Tackle if you don't roll the double, that's all you can take. So very sensible choices, not much to say there. I agree with all of it except for that Stand Firm on the Crocs. Buchtel, a fresh competitor, and I think he joined with 1,000 TV dwarves. I absolutely despise dwarves, but the fact that he's sitting in second place despite that is really great, and I think he even joined in a division up to help me out and fill in the gaps, so bravo to him. He's got himself an Agi busted Troll Slayer. I can't say it matters that much, to be honest. So I don't blame him at all for keeping him, and it's his only killer, so yep. And he's managed to build up some guards, so typical dwarf things. Couple of injuries. You do love to see injured dwarves. That's wonderful stuff. So it looks like an MNG, 2 permas, and a niggling injury. Wonderful. Well done to whoever landed those hits. Stucker, more vampires. You've got to love vampires. Where are they? So 4 vampires, that's much better. Love the blood bag names, that's cool. In fact, the names in general, super. And I mean, sensible choices. Kick first, yes, makes a lot of sense on vampires. You can take so much advantage from kick, more than almost any other team. And vampires block first, makes sense. 4 rerolls, 4 vampires. I think generally speaking, you want to have as many rerolls as you have vampires, just as a slight rule of thumb. Solid, agreed. Carry on. Rincewood's Freezer Burn Norse. Let's have a quick glance, see how he's looking. Spaghetti, still love that name, wonderful stuff. Really want to focus on getting that Mighty Blow, because otherwise he's not so scary. As soon as he gets it, he fucking is. Don't love this dodge on the Ulf Arena. I realise it's a really long-term play and it's about to pay off. He's got the Mighty Blow. He's got the ability to level himself up, and he's been doing so. And when he finally does hit that blodge, then he'll have a blodge, strength 4, Mighty Blow guy. I get it. I think that when you want blodge on a strength 4 guy, it's more because you want to take guard and stand firm and be in a really irritating roadblock rather than with Mighty Blow. So I don't love the dodge, but it's about to pay off for you, hopefully, unless he suddenly dies. So good luck with that. This Ulf's leveled up. I imagine that he'll probably take block, but who knows? He might go for the Mighty Blow route again. If he's thinking really, really long term, I'd be going for block myself. Nerves of Steel. I mean, you didn't have any great choices here, I suppose. Maybe could have taken Leader. Maybe could have taken Leader and theoretically dropped a team reroll or something. I don't know. I don't know Norse very well. I'm not going to comment too much there. Armor on the lineman. I get it. I've tried it in the past, and with Dauntless, you've obviously given him, he's got a role. His role is to sit in front of big guys, survive, and potentially Dauntless them back. I get it, but you've already got Dauntless on the team in the runners, so I'm not sure I like taking more of it. And the armor, well, I mean, see if it's working out for you. I hope it is. Joey then. So Chaos Warriors, he's gone. He's got the same problem that the Nurgle have. You've got to have a threat. Chaos are really not that great. What they do have is amazing killers, and you want to have at least one killer. You don't necessarily need to have loads, and there are some rules in this league, such as a claw limitation, 3 per team, which prevent you from going hard, full kill team. And I'm not suggesting that it wouldn't fit this league and the dynamic of this league, but that doesn't stop you from having a killer. You need a killer. You want a killer. That's how Chaos work. They need to be able to threaten people. They need to be able to make them nervous and make them hide their better players and move them back and create pressure even when they're not doing anything. And so I think one of these guys should have gone Mighty Blow instead of Guard, and then put the pressure on. But other than that, solid choices. You've got a ball carrier, ball sacker, and now a better ball carrier. Perfect. Got the sensible block so that you can then put some, I'm imagining that these two are both going to become your 2 killers and good stuff, or maybe a killer and a surfer or whatever. But you need to get some more kill potential on this team before they can truly flourish. Nomads Albion fellas, where are they? Here we are. Ooh, these Khemri have taken a beating. Sensible choices. Just got to buy your players back. You've got the money, so I'm sure you will start to buy some back and try and get your 3rd reroll. You've been taking some pain. Just rebuild, regroup, and get back to it. And lastly, we've got Boxcars, Norse. He does have the threatening Yeti. He's got the very threatening Berserkers. Love to see it. I think you need to have a bit of a snowbally, threatening Norse team in my eyes to make them good. You've got the Agility 4 ball carrier. Lovely. Taking Kick on someone that's already got Agi 4. That's a horrible choice. Unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Kick is one, a bit like Dirty Player. You want to take it on a player, and then when they get any other skill, you just fire them. Kick is not useful at all. As the ball carrier, it doesn't help you once you've actually already kicked the ball. It only happens like once or twice a game that you kick to your opponent. So that's disgusting. Fend is not much nicer. What could you take instead? I mean, you could theoretically take Dauntless if you agree with how Sambo played his Blitzer with agility. I don't love that. You could take Tackle. You could take, I mean, Fend is a good choice. I like it. I suppose if you don't have agility access, it is harder. But Kick is not the way. Tackle probably. 2 rerolls. I quite like 2 rerolls, honestly. Now you've got block on the Ulf. Just keep the team value down a tiny bit. Like it. Maybe drop 1 lineman, but you are playing Norse. You've got a bunch of armor 7. Maybe keep the bench. Who knows? I'm not a great Norse player. I won't tell you about it. Siegfried sadly dropped out of the league. Really disappointing. Really horribly disappointing after he actually won the Sportsmanship Award in the previous season for being such a gentleman, and then in this league he's just let everybody down. Real shame, real shame. All right, then down to the Bronze League. Let's have a look and see what's happening over here. So Cougar leading the charge, undefeated. Let's have a look at his team. With his Norse, a lot of Norse in the SBBL, haven't we? So he's gone with Mighty Blow, and then he's got Juggernaut as well. Make his blitzes a little bit safer. I love this Juggernaut. If you don't get the double and you can't get block, absolutely. Juggernaut, lovely. Like it, agree with it, brilliant. Block, sensible. Mighty Blow, superb. Blodge Step, excellent. Good choices, not too much bench, not too many rerolls. Love it. Love Cougar's team to bits. Lady Freya and her Dark Elves as opposed to the High Elves. Interesting. So another elfy team. She's been lucky enough to get the Mighty Blow and Guard on a lineman. Lovely bits of progression there. Still only 2 rerolls. You'd love to see that go up to 3. Eventually it does drop back down to 2, but I think you probably do want 3 until you get a good smattering of dodge like Lady Link had up in the Platinum Division, for example. Blodge on your first Witch Elf makes sense, though I could see going Wrestle so that you sort of solve 2 problems. You keep a Witch Elf safe and you get a Sacker on the team immediately. But long-term progression, love this, carry on. Third place, Rico Power with his Necros. How's he doing? Gone Guard first on his White. Yep, makes sense. You need to get the second werewolf. You need to get the second werewolf in immediately. Don't fuck about. Buy it right now. Put it in. What's this ghoul doing here before a werewolf? Fuck off, ghoul. Get out of my life. I'll tell you what, when people will leave your ghouls alone is when you don't buy any. Vafex is a man after my own heart. He's playing Bretonians in a league, and God bless him. What's he gone with? He's gone with 3 blitzers, 4 blockers, and he's got himself Dirty Player as his first skill. Very sensible. I love it. Blodge first, and then Leader. Leader. The rerolls are expensive. He decides he wants 4. I think if you're doing this, it's because you want to get Griff. And if you want to get Griff, I think you drop your 3rd paid reroll, use a Leader reroll to have your 3 rerolls, and you take Griff. That's what I think. So I think that this is a Griff play, or something like a Griff play, or a Zug play, or whatever else. You know, Bretts have got some good, really, and Zara, and they've got great star players. I think this is a TV trim play, and therefore you want to drop a reroll. Aslif Ravenson, Mateus playing Chaos Dwarves as well. Let's see if he's followed our sort of build or if he's gone somewhere else with it. He's got a Minotaur, so he's the first one to get a Minotaur. I think it's horrifically wrong and it should fuck off. But hope he has a lot of fun with it. Actually, I hope it all goes horribly wrong, so I'm proved right that Wild Animal and putting Armor 8 into a team that's relying on a lot of Armor 9 and forcing yourself to blitz with this guy, and then later on you're going to get Claw somewhere else and wish you didn't have to blitz with this guy, but you do, and meh, hate the Minotaur. Either way, fuck him. He's gone with Mighty Blow first, so that he's got potential. Like, there's 2 ways to go. You can go Guard first, or you can go Mighty Blow first. Mighty Blow is better if you then get a double. So if you ever roll Claw, you're like, if you've just got Claw and no Mighty Blow, it sucks. If you've got Mighty Blow, then you get Claw. It's amazing. Fine. But if you don't roll doubles, then suddenly you're like, well, now you've got to take Guard, and you'll kind of wish you had a lot of Guard, because Dwarves with Guard, they're just disgusting. They're horrible. But he's going with a slightly more killy route, and we'll see how it works for him. He's got an Agi-busted Bull Centaur. I don't love it, but he's got no money. What can he do? Like, you generally, you take break tackle and dodge with your strength anyway, I suppose, so fuck it. Dirty Player and Sure Hands, solid choices. I like it. Next up, Tonkin Toto's Orcs. Lots of Orcs. Not that surprising, they're super solid. Block, Mighty Blow, excellent choices. Nothing more to say. Crack on. Kemri, another Kemri. Hey, Budman's Kemri, how's he doing? Here we are. Mighty Blow first makes sense. Tackle first also makes sense. Getting all of your positionals in as well. I love it. Dirty Player, perfect. Love it. Get your 3rd reroll. Move on with your life. Good stuff. And over to the Dwaynes, the last team, and the Orcs. Yeah, I really like this. So you've got one Mighty Blow, because you do need to start getting some Mighty Blow going. I would even potentially have gone for 2, but I like getting some guard in as well, so that's super. Agi Busted Black Orc, to be honest, who gives a shit? You can keep it. Especially until you've, like, once you've got more than 150 grand and he's still not got a load of SPP, probably replace him. If not, fuck it. Goblin plus Troll. I mean, if you're going to try some last minute stuff, why not? It's one of the more entertaining things to do in Orcs and give you some options. If you've got the Troll, having a Goblin, yeah, sure. He's injured at the minute. That happens. Fair enough. And nothing else to say. Solid choices. Yep. Good. Crack on. All right. Whew, I managed to do it in about 35-40 minutes, so it was quite a bit faster than last time, but you can see now why I was speaking so quickly. I knew that it was going to take a while to get through all 32 teams and at least provides a little bit of commentary on all of them. I realise that some of them are quite fresh teams, not much to say, but I've done my best. Hope you enjoyed that little segment. Hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you all for joining me. I'll be back tomorrow